So, part two of me describing my story, my journey to this day, today, November 5th, my day. In the past video, it kind of got interrupted because of lack of storage. I have a bad problem of not fixing that right, so I'll get to that. But this is part two. So in my past video, I was talking about my preparation process. I was talking about everything I went through, from the mental destruction I was going through, the depression, the dark times, feeling like I was in a dark room and a wall was being built around me to isolate me more away from the light, even though there was still no light in the dark room, if that makes any sense. And then, I talked about how I had to get away from all that, and it cost me my last job. It cost me friendships, but I had to, and it made me happy once more. I found some light, and I I really got to know how strong my spirituality is, and really showed a testament to it. So then, I was talking about not having the things in life that everyone else had growing up, not having the best clothes, not having the best house, the best cars, the best anything. Heck, there was poor people. Now, please don't take disrespect to when I say this, but poor people, I should say, more needy people, we're looking at us like, man, we're really down in the dump, man. We really have no money. Those people who were living off welfare and all that stuff looking at us like, man, they have no money. They have nothing. So that's how low, that's how poor. So I could say it because we were there, I mean, we were probably as poor as can be, when it came to having things, we didn't go on vacations. We didn't get to go no places. We didn't get to, we survived on $600 a month. We survived on basically just what we could get to get by every single month. We survived every single month. And with that against me, not having the nutrition and not having the protein and the supplements and all that, because my father and mother could not afford it and I couldn't afford it at the time, and not having that stuff, and I got the physique that I did without it, I'm living proof, ladies and gentlemen. I'm living proof that a lot of this stuff that the fitness industry wants to, oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, if you don't have it, blah blah blah, this and that, no, screw them, screw that idea, that ideology. I'm living proof that if you put your mind to something, not just like, oh, well, I'm really going to do this. No, I mean, you literally have to become obsessed, and everything that you are, everything that you're about, everything 24/7 is about that. Your mind is so powerful, it will force your body to do whatever it wants to do over a time period and over a certain process. I'm not saying yes, I had a diet. Yes, I did my research. There was times to where I would be up for hours, days. I repeat, days, no sleep, researching fitness, bodybuilding type stuff, workouts, diets, different philosophies, different, routines, because that's how obsessed I was with achieving, a goal that wasn't meant for me to achieve. Someone in my position in life, not having the things like everyone else had, not having a silver spoon in my mouth, or not even that, barely even having money to afford food, barely having money to afford any kind of fun, there would be times where I'd be stuck at the house for 6-7 months at a time because we didn't have a car to go nowhere. So we would stay at home. The only place I would get to go anywhere was if a friend picked me up, or it was due to having people take me places. But other than that, I wasn't going nowhere. I was stuck at home. And what I'm trying to get at is, I didn't have the supplements. I didn't have, the chicken breast and the tilapia. I had to eat whatever my mother put on the table. I love her to death, but that's how I was, And I was so obsessed at a time period with this. When my dad was constantly finally buying me like protein powders, and one month he couldn't afford it, I actually started crying. No joke. I started busting out crying. I was thinking, man, I'm going to lose all my gains, blah, blah, blah. This was several years back. That's how passionate I was about it, and later on, I learned and wised up, but still, So when I say that nobody has went through the journey, had to went through the mental anguish and the physical pain that I went through, that I go against. I'm not talking about people that is outside this competition. Only the people that I'm going against in this competition. I guarantee you my entire life, I bet my life on the line, ladies and gentlemen, that nobody had to go through the things and went through the things that I had to go through, had to do the things that I had to do to get to where I am right now, Every day, and still is, a struggle, is hard times, as people say. I don't call it hard times. I call it adventure. I call it, another obstacle that I am willing and lovingly passionate about to accomplish and overcome, So like I said, my journey starts way before this preparation. My journey started way long time ago. When a lot of people have stories about how they start fitness and bodybuilding and all that stuff. They say, oh, I want to look like this dude, or I wanted to do this, or I wanted to look like a superhero, whatever the case might be. I didn't have that. If someone asked me, hey, what's got you into, fitness? I really want to know. I'd literally look them in the eye and say, listen, I woke up one day and I fell in love with it. I didn't look at a magazine. I didn't, have this or that. No, I literally woke up one day, the day before, had no interest in it. The day after, for some reason, it came to me. Bodybuilding and fitness life came to me, and then I became obsessed with it. As each day went by, I became more and more and more obsessed with it. And it became more and more of who I am, and built my character. So, I didn't go to bodybuilding and fitness. It came to me, my number one passion and goal in life is professional wrestling. But bodybuilding became my second, and it came to me, It was like a destiny. It was like my fate. It was like it was meant for me, who I was supposed to be, I was always naturally more athletic than all the other kids, and I always had a competitive nature about me. I always wanted to be stronger than the next kid beside me. I always wanted to do more pull-ups, push-ups, race harder. I always wanted to be the absolute best. I always had that competitive nature. I would get mad, and I would get so passionate about doing the littlest thing. It could be, heck, freaking doing a backflip off a desk in the classroom, I get so passionate because I wanted to be the guy that could do that and be the only guy and be the best at it. I always had that nature. I always had that personality. And so to add on, sorry, some sketchy people went by. So to add on to that, basically, yeah, it's like literally 30-some degrees out here. In one of my past videos about a couple of days ago, it was 81. Ain't that crazy? That's Ohio for you. That's how when someone says, what's the weather like Ohio? Like the name, Ohio. So, back to what I was saying. So bodybuilding came to me, fitness came to me. I've always had that very super competitive nature about me, and bodybuilding mixed with that, it just became this obsession. And I just did everything in my power. I looked around for what I could do. So I found some weights. When the weights were too small, I did everything creatively to add whatever to it or make it tougher on me. And I didn't know every routine or schedule or thing in the world. So I did research. When people ask me, hey, I need to do this, I need to do that, I said, well, you got to promise me one thing. You need to do your research. If you truly want to have the body and physique that you want, you have to do your research. You have to put 100 and a million 10% into it, because that's the only way I could say, hey, how did you get where you're at? Because of that, because of me doing so much research. But before I did any kind of research, I would just get creative with my workouts and exercises to make it more tougher and rougher. So then every Christmas, I'd make sure to try to get a higher dumbbell every year. When I had not enough sand, I had sand weights, like 1970 sand weights. When I was strong enough to rep that out easily, I put cinder blocks on both. I wish I had my old flip phone to show you guys. I took a picture of it. I had cinder blocks, on each side to add more weight. You know what my bench was? Was a wooden sitting bench. That's what I used as my bench. You know how I used it as incline? I would put the thing up on an incline. I would literally tilt it and lean it against something as my, as my incline bench, I used to work out so hardcore and so heavily to where that's why I never rest when I work out, because I never did when I first started. Boom, next one, boom, next one, boom, next one, I nonstop. I did supersets before I knew supersets was a thing. I did giant sets before I knew it was a thing, and that's how I built my foundation. I did that. I was so passionate, but I still am, even more than now than I was then. And so, and then I finally got some actual weights, still rusty. So every time I do a workout on a raggedy old bench, that was made from 1970s, I'd have rust and blood all over the place because I'm using a rusted up bar to do heavy bench press with, and its rust is getting in my eyes. Every time I got on the bench, I was gonna think it was gonna fall and break my bones, but I did it anyway. I would work out. This is how obsessed I was. Not because I wanted to. You think anyone wants to work out at times that they don't want to work out? Like, I'm talking about outside. My workout area at home, it wasn't in my house. It wasn't in a garage. It was outside. My stuff was outside because I had no other room to put it. So guess what? There'll be times where I'll be working out when it's 100 or some degrees. Then there was times, and I have proof. Go to my Instagram. There's proof of me flexing and the proof of me picturing saying that I'm about to work out. But I would work out on -0 degree weather. I'm talking about snow on the ground, and I mean cold. I mean straight up balls, icicle balls, cold. I'm talking about, and you know what I do? Because I was so crazy and obsessed, I would work myself so hard, I'd have to take off my shirt. I remember during Christmas break when I was still in school and I was working out, I was outside without my shirt on and with just a pair of shorts, free balling, working out in freaking, at the time I think it was like 20 degree weather, Not because I was trying to prove, I'm tough or whatever, or test my physical, test my physical temperature of my body, whatever the case might be. Yeah, I in a way I was like, I want to see what I could do. I want to see if I could, work out and do this. But I wanted to prove and inspire, key word guys, inspire people that have that mentality that They're so obsessed with achieving their goal. They're so obsessed with achieving their goal of fitness or whatever the case might be. They don't care what condition it is, weather-wise or any kind of condition anyway that's in your way from achieving that. You don't care how extreme it is. You're willing to go through it, take the punishment, go through whatever it might be to get to your goals still and not hold you back. And that's how my mindset was. If I didn't get a workout in or get my diet in right every single day, I thought I was losing my gains. I honestly thought I was going to die and I was going to lose everything that I made myself out to be. And then as I got wiser, I started to get more in contact with my spirituality, so I started doing my own quotes and started being an inspiration, because I knew at the time what I was doing, I was being an inspiration, and I want to be that. I will die trying to be that. I want to inspire generations of people. I want to inspire people, because seeing what I've done and doing the things that I've done, I want people to see that and understand the things I had to do and go through. That's why I try so hard for people to listen and understand what I'm saying and going through. It's insane, the things I had to live through and go through. It is absolutely inhuman in some points. 90% of people would not have done that and done the things I did. But I did it not because I wanted to, because it was a must. Because I was so passionately obsessed with my goal and dreams in life to achieve them at any cost and any time. I had to do everything in my power to do it and to accomplish it. So working out in 0-degree weather with rusty, raggedy old plates and bars and stuff, I did that, and I did it a lot. I did it constantly. If I had a workout that day, I'd work out. If there was times where I couldn't walk outside because the doors are, my dad doesn't want me to walk outside to let cold air in because how bad the winters are, I'd work out inside. I'd do calisthenics. I'd look online on how to freaking do crazy different kind of push-ups and calisthenics. That's how I taught myself how to do a hip push-up, or it's basically where you put your hands around, close to your hips, and you do push-ups, and it really hits the chest more than anything, more than any push-up in my opinion. It's absolutely holy crap. It's it's super tough. But that's how I learned a lot of my calisthenics. That's how I because I did research, because I was so passionate about achieving my fitness goals. I did research to make sure I got a workout in that would benefit me, even without weights. And I did research to find and look for those things. And you just gotta be that obsessed and passionate about things. I just hope my stories and my journey inspires you to do whatever you want to do, whatever you do in any walk of life, to whatever you do in life and you're passionate about. Go after it 1,000,000%. And willing to die and do everything that you can to achieve it. Everything. That's not just cliche. I mean, literally, give everything you got to achieve it. Make it your life 24/7. I know some people's got jobs, kids, this and that. But I'm just saying, if you truly are passionate, truly want to achieve it, you got to do it. It's got to become who you are. It's got to be everything. You got to think about it constantly. There'll be times where I would love to go to the library. Why? Because they had such good lighting in the mirrors. And I would flex in the bathroom in the mirrors, because I wanted to see my progress. I wanted to see where I was at. That was my check, So, I'd be working out at my school's JVS in the workout room. Here's another example. When I was doing football season, I think I said this in one of my past videos, sorry. I was working, I was doing football. So after football practice, football lifting and all that, I would sneak into the weight room or ask the coach for the key. But if he didn't give it to me, I'd sneak in the weight room and get my lift in, That's how I was. That's how passionate obsessed I was. I was thinking, man, if I don't get this workout in, I'm not because I was already strong enough. My weights at home wasn't really giving me anything, and I wanted to go to a workout room because they had weights heavy enough for me. I got awards in my strength and conditioning class my sophomore year. I got awards in there for being the best student in there because I was training people. At that age, I knew more than the freaking teacher did. You know, the teacher, Mr. Crawl, John Crawl, actually told me, said, listen, you know more about this than I do. And he was the teacher teaching us this thing. You know, I was showing people the ropes, you know. I was the only kid that he let go in there and do whatever he wanted. Yeah, it was kind of biased, but that's because I earned it. Because I went in there since day one and put in 100%. So he put it on a workout on the board. I go in there and I do that workout and do a lot more. And he said, you know what, you can just do wherever you want. He said, you know what you're doing, you know. So, you know, and I got proof at my old house that I won an award for that, you know. That's just another example of how passionate and the things I had to do, you know. I've done bench competitions. I've done powerlifting competitions, you know. I'm technically second in, should have been first, but because of politics, I'm second in national at the Power X at the Arnold Classic, you know. I'm, for teens at least. You know, I could ramble all day, but I'm just saying the things that I've done and went through and go through to get to where I am. Check this out. You know, when I say that no one else had to endure the things that I had to endure and go through the things that I had to go through in my journey to this day, November 5th, was just another example of me proving my legacy. It's not like the main event. It's not like the big bazaar, but it's an example of a lot of things culminating together. Not everything, but a lot of things. When people have money for supplements, when people have money for like protein powder. This is another example why God's real. When I ran out of stuff, I just magically would come up with money. Don't know how. Never would have it for the rest of that month. But when that month was over and my supplements were over, someone would be nice enough to actually give me money, or I would somehow end up with this much money in my pocket. You know? Did I do a single thing for it? I worked out. They knew how passionate I was about it. And I never asked for it. They always gave it to me. So I was blessed for that. And I told them, you know, thank you so much. It means so much to me, you know. I mean, it's my destiny. It's my fate to go down this kind of road, you know. And I want to inspire people to do the same. Not my road in particular, but a passionate road, you know. And so back to what I was saying, when people had protein shakes, I had milk. Yeah, I had milk because I couldn't afford protein shakes. My family couldn't afford having it every day, you know. If they could ever afford the protein, it was either someone who had money in my family would buy it for me, or they would buy the food stamp protein, as I would call it, the EAS. Basically, it was like $9-10 for it. Soy protein. I'd be tickled to death to have it. You know how I got a lot of my foundation gains? I would drink chocolate milk. I would save up chocolate milk cartons from the beginning of the day at school in the morning, get about 2 chocolate milk cartons, and then lunchtime, get about 2, and then sometimes the lunch ladies would give it to me. Sometimes, and 90% of the time, kids would actually go up to me without even telling me and just give me their chocolate milk, just lay it by my tray. You know, I never asked for it. They just did because they knew that I did that, because I that's what I did, you know, because I made a reputation, you know, for myself. And that's another reason why I think God is, you know, there'll be times where there'll be 7, and I would thank the Lord because that's His doing, you know. That's Him saying, here, I'm helping you out achieve your goals and dreams. You know, here you go, you deserve it. Or, you know, and that means that I'm blessed for that, you know. And I pray to the Lord every single day and tell Him, you know, I cherish everything He's done for me, you know. That's why I'm such a believer, big believer in the Lord, because it's too obvious, you know. It's not convenient, because when it's you want to play that card, then why does it seem like it's a constant thing at the time? It was literally like every single day I saw it, and I still do. So I fast forward, and I finally got a membership. The guy who owned the gym, he saw how passionate I was because I didn't have money to afford. I said I'd work. I said I'd help clean your gym. He said, no need to. He gave me a free membership at my last gym that I used to go through. A free membership because he knew how passionate I was. He knew that no one else could touch my my passion for lifting, for working out. So when I say no one's been down my journey, when people had money for whey protein, when people had money for creatine and supplements, when people had money for the nutrition, when people had money for clothes, when people had money for the gym memberships, I didn't. And I'm not going to explain myself again because I just did. So rewind if you want to hear it again. I was creative in my own ways to create my own workouts. When I didn't have a gym, I'd find every way possible to get a workout in. If it was from sneaking in the weight room to get a workout in, or freaking using old raggedy rusty weights, or doing calisthenics, or whatever the case might be. When people had whey protein, I had chocolate milk because I was so obsessed with getting my gains, as people would say. I did everything in my power to get it, to do it. When people had the clothes, I didn't. I'd be wearing the same workout clothes, and we didn't have a washer and dryer. My mom would have to wash them and dry them. So that's the life I had to go through. And I'm amazed and blessed to see even where I'm at right now, in a car that barely runs, and having not the best job in the world, but something, but I'm still smiling, I'm happy, I'm positive, so when I say that the journey that I had to go through, like running to the gym and back because I had no car to go to the gym, so I ran on the street and on the road to get to my gym and come back. I don't think any other competitor going into this competition today is doing that as well as I am, or doing it as all. I guarantee you they are. If they are, then they didn't do it as passionate as I did. So when I say that no one has went through the things I had to go through to get to where I am, they haven't. I know they haven't. People would be amazed at where I got to and the things I've done to get to where I am. Plain and simple. That's not me bragging on myself. That's me telling facts and being passionate about it. So then you fast forward a little bit more, and my preparation, my process into going into this was basically going through a depression, going through bad times, or hard times, as people would say, and I look at it as an adventure, and then finally finding the light again. I basically almost went through a stage to where I almost literally died in the gym and outside of gym from taking so much pre-workout and caffeine to where literally my left side of my body felt like it was so numb and felt like I didn't even have nerves there. And that's just because I had to stay awake, because I'd have like 2 hours of sleep average, and working, at a death-threatening job, and people bullying me. And I had no friends, and I was no contact with my family. So I was being mentally destroyed and spiritually ripped apart, So as I continue and went on and on and on and on, here I am now. I have a membership at 2 gyms that I'm, to me, it's worth it because one's 24/7. So if I can't go at the main one, then I go to that one. One has tanning, one has a pool. That's the way I look at it. It's just, when people think I'm being cocky, I'm not being cocky. It's me being passionate. It's me telling facts. It's me being passionate, trying to get a certain idea across people's minds. And if you are a supporter of me, thank you so much. But a lot of things that I say isn't for that, is for people who are against me, and I want to inspire those who support me, and I want to inspire those that hate me, because maybe they'll realize and understand something. So going into this competition, today is the day. It's 6 months I've been preparing for this competition. 6 months of hardcore strict diet, hardcore cardio, hardcore everything. I'd be running and doing cardio machines, or running to the gym and back, but doing cardio machines at the highest intensity for 30 minutes straight, and then I'd work out, Strictest diet. I only can name a handful of foods that I've had literally for the last 6 months. I could literally tell you I've had potatoes, some pasta, tilapia, chicken, cereal, skim milk, fat-free skim milk, eggs, lentils, Pacific cod. Don't get that. It's waste of money. Turkey burgers, oatmeal. I mean, that's all I can really think of. That's all I've had for the last 6 months, and rice, tuna. That's all I've had. Strict diet. There'll be times where it would be so sickening how the food was being made and prepared because of the lack of time and the lack of able to actually prepare it right. People would look like, oh my gosh, you're gonna eat that? Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Oh my, but I had to. I'm sick and tired of this stuff. I cannot wait. I'll be honest. As excited as I am for this competition, I'm just as excited to get it over with, because it made me get more contact with my soul and with my spirituality, and really made me more mentally stronger and wiser. This preparation did. It made it not changed me, but made me into a stronger human being, and made me, realize things and really test my resilience of my mentality and spirituality. But I'm so excited to get this over with, because I cannot wait to get my hands on a nice big fat juicy hamburger with a side of the cheesiest mac and cheese out there. I mean, I cannot wait, And I miss being big. I miss being the biggest, baddest guy out there. I miss training for professional wrestling, because that's my main goal. I miss being strong. I miss almost lifting 400 pounds on bench, and I miss deadlifting 500 pounds and squatting 500 pounds for reps. I miss that. I don't have that strength now. I have to build myself back. Sure, I look good on stage, but I'm at my weakest point. But mentally and spiritually, I'm at my strongest, per se, in certain areas. But so, I think I've described and explained myself when it comes to my journey. So then when I say beating the odds, and let me add this factor into it. I could start in different ways, different roads, but let me start this way. One example of beating the odds. I was talking about the grocery store lady from Jungle Gyms. This lady was supposedly some kind of athlete, some kind of fitness model, or I don't know, she competed or whatever. She didn't look like it. Her body did not look like it. She looked like an average woman. But, now to say, so I came back from work one day, and I was in there, and this is, I was telling her I was going for a competition. She was selling, supplement stuff, and she looked at me by just looking at my forearm and said, yeah, there's no way you can do that in November. I said, I'm wearing a really baggy shirt. Under this is pretty impressive. She's like, well, usually when you see people competing, they really are very vascular, and the skin's very tight to the skin on my forearms. And I looked at her, and I was polite and nice, and I didn't say anything bad. I was just like, okay. And she said, maybe, she said, it would be more realistic, for you to do a competition like April, but in, in November, that's impossible. You wouldn't do very good. You're just not going to be able to get in that condition. I was like, that right there, the littlest comment, the littlest, most people don't get on my skin, but just that, it lit a fire. When I went to the gym that day, I was so angry, so passionately angry. There was a fire that lit inside me that overdrive my efforts into this process and preparation than it was before. It put it in overdrive. It made it 10 times more passionate than I was doing it before, preparation for this competition. I made sure, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing this at every single 100%. I'm making sure I'm going to do everything right. And I basically, in my mind, I'm like, she don't realize I can change my body. This is how mad and I was literally at the same time. I could change my body type within a week. I can go from being the strongest guy to the most ripped guy. I can go from the most ripped guy to the most strongest guy. I said I could change my body within a week, and I did. So here I am now. I'm as lean as I can get. I'm probably like 4 or 5% body fat. If that, maybe less than that. I'm defined. I got my spray tan. I got my bodybuilding suit. I got my music, hopefully. I'll get to that in a second. I got everything that I need. I paid my money. I earned my money. And I paid for my dues. I paid my registration. I paid for an NPC card. And she said it's impossible for me to do it because I had not tight enough skin on my forearms. Well, you'll see. You'll see pictures of me and where I'm at. And you'll see if my veins are coming out of my forearm. She don't realize, there's when your body's around like cold air, which most grocery stores are decently cold because of the air conditioner. She don't realize that your blood vessels, the veins, go deeper into your body because so it can get warmth. Is she an idiot? That made me so mad, so angry. But I thank her because it literally lit a fire inside me like never before. It pushed me and made me so passionate about to achieve all my goals and all my dreams, and especially this competition, than ever before. It made me go into overdrive obsession. Hashtag overdrive obsession for this competition. Plain and simple. And so when I talk about beating the odds, those odds put up against me, not being able to have enough time for a competition, I'm in better shape than I guarantee you than all the competitors on that stage. And I did it in a lot less time than they did. A lot less time, if you want to go by her standards. So when I talk about beating the odds, another example. Oh, and when I win my first place trophy, when I head to the Northern Kentucky Convention Center, and as soon as I walk through the door, I will be first place, win or lose, in my mind, because I know that no one else went through the process and the preparation that I did, that the road that I had to go through and everything that I had to endure and everything that I had to witness and take and go through. I got first because no one is as passionate as me up here and in here. I got first no matter what, win or lose, politics or not. I got first. I am as stubborn as the next guy. My dad's the most stubborn guy I know, and I probably got from him. I got first. I don't care if I got last. I will say I got first because I know I got first. Because no one trained as hard as I did. No one put as much hours and time as I did into this. And no one put as much money as I did into this. And put as much of their life on the line as I did for this. Literally, physically putting my life on the line for this. And then putting all my money into this, financially life into this. And then putting my living condition life into this. Literally, I've lost 2 homes because of this preparation and this process. 2 homes. Yeah. So I don't want to hear about, oh, well, I had to work out at this time and I couldn't get the workout in, but then I got my 15 minutes of cardio and then ate my 7 meals a day. I'm sick and tired of the same little trendy, you have to go this way. Screw that. I'm living proof and condition. You just got to become obsessed with it and you will achieve it. Plain and simple. I'm not saying with diet and workout is definitely a must, but you don't need to follow things perfectly because you just don't have to. People think you have to. You don't. Fitness isn't rocket science. It really isn't. I'm living proof of that. So back to I was saying, beating the odds. So when I win my trophy, when I win my first place, I'm going to head to Jungle Gyms, go there, look for a lady, and go there every single day till I see that lady and say, hey, see this? Remember me? Yeah. And she's going to be like, and I'm going to be like, this is a smile for all you haters and particularly for you, lady. I did all this just for you, just to show you that I did it. I did the impossible. My legacy is meant and built on the idea and the doings of me beating the odds. My legacy, the definition of it, is the guy who does the impossible on a daily basis. My legacy, when you look at my legacy, if it was a book and you read it, my legacy, it will read out Cody Lee Wolf Hansen, the once-in-a-lifetime person, the guy who lived life to the fullest every single millisecond, the guy on a constant 24/7, 365 days a year, broke, beat, and did the impossible every single day. He put the possible in impossible. Impossible is not even a word in my vocabulary. So other ways of beating the odds that I did, other things that I did to beat the odds, okay. So, I was heading to my competition. I had my music. When I talk about that, they want one song, one CD. And I'm thinking, why don't you just update to 2016 people and just take an aux cord and plug it in? Plain and simple. But no, they want to complicate things. So I tried doing that. Well, guess what? I don't have that. I tried with two people to help me out because I don't know how. Couldn't rely on them. I don't have it. So this right here, I'm hoping that they'll accept that. I'm hoping that they'll accept a full CD with 11 songs on it. They don't. I literally went through 6 months and I had to throw it all away because of one song. Because I couldn't have one song on one CD. And I'm still going to smile and leave happy. Because guess what? I get to end this stupid preparation. I get to end all this, forcing myself, not really having the much fun as I do lifting and fitness wise, and get to actually enjoy and have fun and be as spiritually involved into my work. I take that back. I've always have been, but as fun in my workouts again. And lift the way I want to lift and do the things that I want to do. Plain and simple. And I'll be happy because I'll be back to where I was. Smarter and wiser than before though. So there's that. That's against me as we speak. Oh, did I mention? So, me being stupid always. There's always something going on that I do stupid. I always mess up. I guess washing my sweatpants. I think I left my NPC card in there, which is technically a paper because they don't send your card out. Well, I might not be able to compete because I don't have my NPC paper that I paid for. That was $125. So I got one thing that will help me. The guy said bring $1. He told me, okay, because I brought in $124. I was $1 short. I have no money left. I have $0. I literally have $0 on me. The guy said bring $1. Okay, so I'm bringing $1 today. But if he asks me, so where's your paper? I'm going to be like, well, technically, if you want to get technical, I don't have it. I misplaced it. But technically, either we don't have a problem and you just, and I'm going to do this today, you just write me another paper because that's all you have to do is write me another paper. Because it's just a little blank piece of paper. I know they got plenty of copies there. That's all you have to do. If not, I want my $124 back because I never paid a full $125. No. So technically, what paper did you give me? I only gave $124. I didn't pay for it. I didn't give you my full $125. So yeah, I got that on them. We'll see how that goes. So that's going against me as we speak and as we go along here. Let's see. Odds before, my car broke down. My car still broke down as we speak. Hopefully we can get it fixed after I'm done with this video. My car broke down heading to Covington. As soon as I hit Covington, car broke down. Still a smile on my face. Not going to let break me because I went through the most worst of times. And I know if I can go through that, then nothing else could break me. And then always keep a smile on my face. That's the way I roll. That's the way I look at things. You know, because I've went through the most worst of times. And I'm going to keep smiling when other bad times hit me. Like I said, when hard times hit me, your car breaks down. You have no job. Blah, blah, blah. That's hard times. Well, let me tell you what hard times is. To me, it's an adventure. Guess what? I live in hard times. I passionately live in hard times. I thrive to strive in hard times. So I have all that against me. I have, money that I owe to certain people because I have to pay them for certain things that I didn't have the money for. And so yeah, car broke down, CD crap, money crap, issues, NPC. But hey, today's the day. Today's my day. Whether or not I get to compete or not, I still, through the process and preparation, it made me get more in contact with my spirituality, and it made me more stronger and wiser than ever before, and it taught me a lot.